So we pumping them out, we pumping them out, we pumping them out. You in here with your boy K the fuck I X. We in a dungeon. We in a dungeon, chat. We going live, chat. You already know who I am, chat. So go over there, subscribe, like, and comment. If you ain't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Like and comment on all my videos that you like. Don't do it because I said do it. Do it because you like me, you feel me? But we about to go over to my boy Trap Lil Ross and see what he got going on. But you in a dungeon with your boy K the fuck I X. About to do the reaction. Let's see what we gotta get into, chat. Let's go.
Not long after his death, this war would seemingly continue to claim lives, as on July the 10th, 2021,
get you that bag if you ain't got some.
During a fatal incident at a
Stop
gas
hating.
station in
Put this
Inglewood.
in
These
you.
men turned out to be a 20-year-old named Jalen Anderson and a 33-year-old called Jamie Hawkins, who were better known in the streets as Gutter Gang J-Ski and Gutter Gang Oil. Paperwork posted online by the watermark enthusiast Chusky the Real would reveal that the Jeep Cherokee had parked in the gas station for several minutes, but when Anderson and Hawkins had pulled into the gas station, at least one occupant of the Jeep would begin shooting at them before the car would flee the scene, and a search for its license plate.
And if you ain't know, chat, we doing a reaction of how Lil Durk took out DThang's killer. Durk was doing things. Like he was doing numbers. And he was doing numbers. A lot of things he was doing, we ain't know. We about to get into it, see what he had going on. And one thing I could say, Gilly, Wallow, you told my dude, you know, like, it ain't worth it. Should've took his advice.
Would reveal that it was a stolen vehicle. Curiously, only a few days after this double murder, Lil Durk would make a cryptic post to his Instagram story with a picture of his brother, together with the caption, "Do it for DThang," as the post would be shared on Reddit soon after. One psychologist would comment that they had heard that OTF had indeed gotten that get back, while another commenter would identify JC and Oil as the reason for Durk making the post. Around the same time as Lil Durk would make this post, DThang's baby mother would also make an Instagram story with a picture of DThang, this time accompanied by the song Lick Back by the rapper ESDG, a song that essentially describes the need for always getting your revenge.
Get that bread.
These posts would prompt many
Stop
Redditors
hating.
to believe that OTF
Get that bag.
gas station hit, but violence would continue to follow
head.
Durk from here. And just a month after his brother's passing, and a few days after the gas station shooting,
all the YouTubers up there, Instagrammers,
in Brazelton, Georgia,
stop self-snitching.
Invaders would break in with unknown motives in the middle of the night. Apparently, Durk and his partner India would reportedly fight back by shooting at the intruders, but seemingly everyone would survive the shootout without any serious injuries. The intruders would actually escape the scene before the police arrived. And at this point, there's been very little information about what this whole incident was about. If you ask me, timing is incredibly suspicious and may well have been in retaliation for those two murders that followed DThang's death. After the home invasion, some months would pass, but in October, rapper Nardo Wick would release his smash hit, Who Wants Smoke, featuring an all-star group of features, including 21 Savage, G Herbo, and Lil Durk, together with a music video directed by the music video prodigy Cole Bennett. In his verse, Nardo Wick would rap a funny line about how he even pumps gas with his gun, so his ops can't surprise him, something which Durk would then reference in his own verse, but adding how listeners better do like Nardo says, because people will die while pumping gas, which seemed to be yet another reference to the murders of J-Ski and Oil at the gas station. This was followed about a week later with Durk's song Pissed Me Off, which he would begin by paying tribute to his brother, saying they got back for him. Durk would then rap several bars about his need for a revenge after losing people close to him,
sit back and light you one.
mentioning how he can not feel happy until he gets back.
It's getting good.
Something that seems to say a lot about his mindset at the time. Durk would then even directly reference the shootout that happened in his home, which makes me think he's letting us know that this was indeed connected to those cases. However, so far, Durk's
that's why you don't put everything on that
for his brother,
and don't put everything in his songs.
Compared to the self-snitching
that's weird.
Modern day drill music like Lil Jeff and Q50. On the 27th of January 2022, the plot would thicken considerably as 24-year-old Stefan Mack was killed after leaving a youth peace center in the Roseland neighborhood, located in the far south side of Chicago. Before the tragedy would strike, Stefan, who was also known as Young, was visiting the youth center where he was reportedly an active participant. Meanwhile, a black Chrysler would enter the center's parking lot with two men waiting inside the vehicle for about 40 minutes, seemingly waiting for Stefan to exit the center. Then, at around 3 p.m., when Stefan would step outside and begin to walk towards his car, two masked men would exit the Chrysler and begin shooting at him, with Stefan attempting to flee by running in the opposite direction. One of the shooters, armed with a Ruger AR-556 semi-automatic rifle, would chase Stefan across the parking lot before shooting him from a distance, which would cause Stefan to collapse on the ground near train tracks, where the shooter would run up to him and finish the job. Shortly after, the youth center's security guard would step outside outside to find out what was causing the noise, which would prompt the second assailant to shoot him in the leg with a handgun. The shooters would then abandon the Chrysler in the parking lot and escape on foot. The security cameras capturing one of the assailants with a heavy build running away from the scene, and later that day, police would recover the Ruger AR rifle from the backyard of a vacant residence located nearby. Sometime after Stefan's murder, Durk and an OTF member called Chug would once again make suggestive posts on their Instagram stories, both using the caption for DThang, with Durk also using the name of his recent song, Aha, which at this point hadn't even been released yet, while Chug would refer to something being a sad case. Not long after, at the beginning of February, one Chiracologist posted the stories to Reddit, whilst also linking them to the murder of Stefan, who the poster claimed to be a member of the set Smashville 85th, whilst also...
This should be a lesson. You had Melly go down for some raps. You had Lucci. You had Thug, Gunna. How many more do it take for y'all to stop yelling in y'all raps? Like, you want to sound cool like
so allegedly having connections with the so-called Melly Way,
crazy,
named in honor of 051.
I ain't know I had a...
Stefan was in fact Melly's cousin.
I ain't know that.
Was located around 85th Street in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood in the far south side of the city, far away from the childhood stomping grounds of DThang and Durk.
He was into a little more than you knew.
The set is affiliated with the Dump Street.
That's why in that picture he's looking more...
who have been rumored to be behind DThang's murder. There weren't initially many theories about who were the two people behind the murder, but unbeknownst to the public at the time, the alleged killers were making sneaky references to their crimes on social media.
Look at that.
On the 15th of February, a man called Mike City AJ would post on his Facebook how his set had been spanking their ops so much that they were about to give up. As his name indicates, Mike City AJ has ties to a set called Mike City or Mike Block, also known as Gator Gang. BD set located on 86th and Morgan, which is named in honor of their fallen member Mike, who was killed in 2012. Lamron and Taytown have seemingly been affiliated with Mike City for at least a decade at this point, and AJ himself has clearly been close with Taytown members on social media for a while, even seemingly appearing in a March 2021 music video of TTE Day Day, who's one of Durk's oldest friends from Taytown. A YouTuber called Kenny Rogers, who claims to be from the same neighborhood, would open up about AJ's childhood and reputation in the streets, telling how AJ and other young'uns from Mike City were like sicarios, private army for hire with a feared reputation, who would eventually get affiliated with OTF members such as Booney Mo.
Watch this and do what we did. You know, but
that's
AJ, they decided, like, they
that
like
is
scenario, well, I've said scenario, sicarios. You know, it's about like a private army for hire. You know what I'm saying? Now, we warned them about that because when the guys came out there trying to connect and all that, like, no, we been on our own. What's like the, we know what y'all own. Y'all ain't finna use them. But you know, the younger guys got into too many. You know, they wanted to make a name for themselves. They wanted to hang around because of their name and shit like that. But we was telling them, y'all bigger than them. Real talk. But AJ, yeah, they was feared, and you can hire them to.
Hey, Wack, man, throw me in the clubhouse.
And not having somebody have your paperwork on the internet.
Hey, throw me on no chopper.
Now you being affiliated with Booney Mo and OTF.
Chat, somebody tell them throw me on no chopper.
And you know, doing it to
I got some things I need to say.
Steph and Matt, 051
That's crazy,
man. On the 21st of February, less than a month after Stefan Mack's murder, Durk would drop his music video for the song Aha, which was filmed in Chicago. Later on, online detectives would notice that in one of the Instagram stories posted by people who were at the video shoot, you can see someone who looks a lot like Mike City AJ, showing that he was indeed possibly connected all the way to the very top of the OTF hierarchy. But what people would also notice were the rather revealing lyrics that Durk was dropping in the song. First, he would begin with a disclaimer saying how everything he's about to say is just entertainment and not real. Durk then mentions how his shooters have been sliding through their ops block, but the ops don't even know it, and that someone from the ops side got shot, and while Durk didn't claim it, he can show them proof. Durk would then seemingly be done with beating around the bush, as he would explicitly state how he's been heavy on the downers since DThang got killed, and already got back for him.
Do not quote and start with, it's only for entertainment, this is not real. Everything about it here is just a joke.
And that their ops know it, but they don't post on social media so the police don't find out. Durk would then seemingly change his mind about this all being just entertainment, as he would swear on his brother's life that that everything he's speaking is facts and not just a diss. Durk would then end his first verse by saying how people might say he's just a singer, so he won't kill anyone, but he doesn't care what they think because he got their friend shot. The hook of the song would even acknowledge that Durk's activities will put him in jail, rapping he's dropping locations and getting revenge, and that the feds will soon come. It seems that Durk was sending a lot of messages with this song, but likely only the people involved in the Chicago gang wars would
what
he was clearly putting out there for
everybody knew
that his brother DThang's death was still weighing
Durk,
heavily on his mind, and that for him,
better
this
than
in fact
that.
was just entertainment.
Meanwhile, in May 2022, a rapper from the Dump Street or Gutter Gang called GG Juju would release his song titled Don't Be a Fool, where he would seemingly diss DThang by rapping how he will not be searched when going to a club, before mentioning how that is how a fool got killed, and saying that if people mention Gutter Gang, they're going to end up on the news. Juju would also seemingly diss Durk, saying how some people were always acting too tough on their songs and always rapping about switches and drakes, but that they got them too. This likely being a reference to Durk literally having a song titled Switches and Drakes. After this, some time would pass. On the 6th of June 2022, exactly 1 year after DThang's passing, Durk would make another cryptic post on his Instagram story, quoting lyrics about someone getting hit and how certain people are only known in the city because of their friends who got killed. But instead of signing the post with his usual moniker, The Voice, he would sign it this time as The Pump, which some internet sources believe to be yet another sign that Durk was making a reference to the murders of J-Ski and Oil taking place at a gas station pump. Meanwhile, Durk's friend and OTF member Booney Mo would post a much clearer message simply stating F the dump, this seeming like a rather obvious reference to the Dump Street set. The following month in July, Durk and the rapper Lil Zay Osama would release the song F My Cousin Part 2, and this time Durk wouldn't hold back one bit, rapping a direct threat to his ops that if they were even at the scene when his brother was killed, they're going to die too, before mentioning specifically his ops from the west, with Dump Street being located directly to the west of Taytown and Lamron, saying how 2 of their members died immediately after DThang's death. At this point, it seemed obvious that if Durk wasn't directly claiming the hit of J-Ski and Oil, he was at least dissing them openly. And then, in December, Booney Mo would release his single titled For Real, together with a lavish music video that was posted on Durk's YouTube.
I'm just playing it in my head. That's
all
I'm trying to think. This guy crazy, bro. I didn't know.
Also seemingly
I did not know.
Killed DThang as
I will not
which
play it again.
supports the idea that DThang might not have even been killed on purpose and was in fact simply hit by a ricocheting bullet. This theory also being supported by the news report about the shooting, with the police describing how DThang was simply caught amongst
I had one too many.
2023, On a Couch TV would post a hood vlog with none other than Dump.
Interestingly,
they were also joined by the rapper 85th.
You sit back and chillin' with your boy K the fucker Axe. We in a dungeon. We gon' live. We reacting to how Durk got his brother DThang murdered, knocked off. And it's kind of strange. I didn't know Durk was into all of this. Like, I didn't. I really didn't. I just, you feel me? But you get it with me. We don't react to no reaction. You already know. We kicking it with your boy Trap Boy Ross. Anyway, if you ever in my city in the DMV area, specifically Baltimore, you try to get that tat, you try to get hit up like the subway in Harlem, come holler at me. You need an engineer to get you right on your track, come holler at me. You need a photo shoot done, you trying to look right on the gram, the book, anything, come holler at me. You need a video shoot done, I'm the boy you need to get in touch. Just hit me up. Like, comment, sub. If you haven't already subscribe. And we back into it.
Lil Smoke, who just so happens to be from Smashville, the very hood where Stefan was allegedly from, showing that these sets were indeed very close with each other. In the comments of the video, one viewer would ask On a Couch TV to ask him about DThang, but he would reply, calling that viewer federal, or saying that he knew that they wouldn't answer questions about that anyway. But still, On a Couch would seize the moment and ask them about Durk, inquiring whether they considered Durk to be the voice of Chicago, which would surprisingly receive a rather cordial response from the crew, who say he's a good rapper, but he's not the voice of the streets, and that he can't stop the gang war.
So how y'all feel about Durk basically taking the title as the voice of the Chicago, like what he say was go on in the trenches?
Cat?
He can rap. He can rap. But voice of what trenches? Ain't nobody.
Voice of what trenches? Voice of what trenches? He said who? Who? That's why he tried to prove himself. Because of that. He ain't got to prove himself because of that. They ain't making no bag. He ain't got none of this around his neck. He ain't got none of this on his arm. He ain't got no bag. Durk, he had to crash out for these fools.
Because he was basically saying like if somebody like him came down and wanted to bring peace in Chicago, like it actually happened.
That's happened, man. Cause too much blood shit in the city. Ain't nobody. Like he ain't gonna like it. You can come in your hood, toe with to it, not yeah, but you.
He said you can't do that, not
You
yeah.
talk for everybody. You don't talk for you.
said not over here.
Hinting at the get back for DThang in his songs, like in the track Pellicoat that he would drop in May as part of his Almost Healed album. But
she says she like my accent.
People had died after
like
a few months later, on the
get
death
off
date
my
of
strap.
Oil, a member of a set called Melt Gang, who were affiliated with Dump Street, aka Gutter Gang, would finally send a clear message back to Durk by posting an Instagram story with a caption that he was smoking on DThang. In response, a member of World 079, aka Newski Gang, who were affiliated with Dog Pound and close to Durk, would share a post about the murders of Oil and J-Ski to his Instagram profile, together with Lil Durk's Pellicoat song, and specifically the part of the song that says how 2 people died after DThang's death, while his very next post would say that Oil and J-Ski were his favourite people to smoke. The dissing between these two alliances had now gone far beyond small subliminal jabs to damn near federal public confessions. But things were about to get a lot more interesting, because in October 2023, Mike City AJ, real name Anthony Montgomery Wilson, together with another man called Marley, real name Preston Powell, would be charged with the murder of Stefan Mack. But this was no ordinary state charge, this was a federal charge. And this was no typical murder charge either, this was a murder for hire. Yes, murder for hire in 2023, as the feds would allege that AJ and Marley had been in contact with someone in another state who had promised them a reward for the murder of Stefan. Following these charges, AJ would be arrested and taken into custody, but Marley would seemingly make a run for it, with the FBI releasing a wanted poster for him and even local news reporting on his attempt to avoid the law.
At the time, it was already clear that the feds were holding any information regarding this case close to their chest, as the file docket for the case is full of sealed documents. But the reason for this would be revealed in December 2024, as the feds would suddenly unseal more documents related to the case in the lead up to Durk's detention hearing in the Lil Pab case, including an application for a search warrant in Texas, and more importantly, an affidavit in support of that application. This affidavit, which dates all the way back to April 2023, would reveal explosive information that the feds were indeed investigating Lil Durk's connection to the murder of Stefan Mack. The affidavit would provide numerous interesting details about Mack's murder, including the fact that Mike City AJ had done a C-Day and left his phone at the crime scene, and that while at the crime scene, he had also been calling Marley by name. While after the murder, the two had been openly discussing their upcoming payment from Lil Durk, and after seemingly receiving the payment, AJ had been bragging about it and claiming the hit on social media by posting himself with a big stack of cash, together with the lyrics from Lil Durk's Aha song, with findings like these prompting Chiracologists online to joke how Durk had hired the dumbest assassins on earth to do the job. An employee of the youth center would also allegedly reveal to the feds that the killers had been tipped off about Mack's location by 2 brothers from a set called Risky Road, who seemingly knew Marley, aka Powell, as he lived in their hood at the time of the crime. But the paperwork would also reveal some interesting background information. For example, the feds would claim that Mack was not only affiliated with Smashville, but according to their informant, he was in fact the set's leader. Another informant, on the other hand, would claim that Lil Durk was offering money for the murder of those responsible for his brother's death, and even for the murder of any gangster disciple in general. The same informant would also reveal that Dump Street had indeed been behind DThang's murder, and that Mack had been a close associate with a Dump Street member who the feds referred to as Individual A. Individual A would turn out to be a man named Diamani Green, who had been arrested in December 2021 for an unrelated double murder, and who would be better known in the streets as Gutter Gang Puke, or simply GG Puke, as his rap name would be. Following the release of this paperwork, many would start to claim that GG Puke was in fact the Dump Street member responsible for the murder of DThang, although the feds would not explicitly make this connection in the paperwork, as they would simply state that according to their informant, DThang was killed by members, plural, of Dump Street, and that Puke, aka Individual A, was a close associate of Mack, not that Individual A killed DThang. However, to many, it would seem that the feds were heavily alluding to Puke being the one responsible for the murder, and the reason why Mack was ultimately killed. It's also worth noting that the Chiracologists had been alluding to a locked-up rapper from the Dump Street being responsible for DThang's death even before the new paperwork, and after Puke's name would begin to circulate, the online sleuths would quickly uncover a 7-year-old Zach TV video showing Puke hanging out in Harvey, the very city where DThang would eventually be killed. Meanwhile, Lil Durk's music has continued to provide more insights into the events related to his brother's death. In early 2024, his song called Survivor, or I Did It Without You, was leaked online, the lyrics seemingly describing why Durk would eventually fall out with his old set Lamron, siding fully with the Tay-Town instead. Insinuate that Lamron kept us the Dump Street members on Lamron's block. He's going to kill them and the Lamron members. It's starting to make sense to me, chat. This song would leak. It's starting to make sense to me. Would post a snippet to his song. I know it ain't go over top of you. Okay. Him about DThang's murder while saying that they're beefing with real rap. You got that, chat? For now, there's no charges against Durk in the murder of Stefan Mack, and it seems that he's diving deep into it. More in an effort to prevent Durk for getting bail on the Lil Pab. Come on, Durk, yo. You ain't slide that stupid. Down for his brother too. What's most interesting is that if Durk was indeed using his rap his enemies to be killed in the streets, from here his career would only continue to rise. Suspiciously, so too would the body count, as more and more of those people Durk had issues with would wind up dead, with Durk never missing an opportunity to jump on the mic and brag about these murders for the whole world to hear.
Have you been suffering from the after effects of a work injury? The good news is you're still entitled to a 5 or 6 figure settlement.
No. Chat. What you think? You think he really did those things they said? You really think he put that rap money up for that? I mean, like, it ain't really put out no hard evidence that they threw money out there, but there's a couple more videos out there. We gonna dive into that my boy Trap Boy Ross got out there. Trap Lord Ross, you feel me? I keep saying it a little slow. But you know, you kicking with your boy K the fuck X, we in a building, we in a dungeon, you know. Like, if you ain't already subscribed, go subscribe, comment. I'm gonna hit you back in the comments. You already see we got the chat going on and we going dumb in the chat. Hit me in the chat, I do respond. If you ever in the DMV area, you trying to get hit up like that so in Harlem. You trying to look good for the summer? Come holler at your boy. I'm gonna get you right. I'm gonna get you in and out for the low. The best prices in town. And if you need an engineer to get you right on that mic, come holler at me. If you need me to get you right on your photo shoot or your video for your new shit that you did in my booth, come holler at me. You trying to get your mind out of this world. Boy, I'm baked right now. Just get with me. We did the reaction. How Lil Durk got his brother DThang killer knocked off. We reacted to it. We was in a dungeon. Like, say no more. Like, you kicked it with your boy. We out. Just let me know what you think in the chat. We out. You kicked it with your boy K the fuck out in the dungeon. Holla at me.